It is starting to make its northward push. You can clearly see it. And notice how ragged the eye wall now is. It's really starting to get much weaker compared to just 24 hours ago. Some drier air is working its way into the region. Since it's such a slow-moving storm system, it's really helped to churn up the water. So it basically brought cool waters from under the surface up to the surface. And as a result, it doesn't like that cool water, and then it starts to weaken as a result. Still a Category 2, winds of 110 miles an hour, and it is continuing its northward track. It's just moving very, very slowly at 2 miles an hour. But let's track some rain. In fact, we have a heavy cell right here with one lightning strike. This is about to work its way into the town of Okeechobee, so you will start to see this very quickly rumble on in. Also with these cells, wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour, maybe an isolated tornado, but nothing that the Weather Service is tracking at the moment. But nonetheless, this is going to run into Okeechobee. Notice how fast everything is moving. These cells are cooking anywhere between 30 to 40 miles an hour, sometimes 50. So they're very fast moving cells, generally moving from north to the south. Elsewhere, just a couple of rain showers here or there along the coast. But since this is such a slow moving storm system, this will continue to feed lots of moisture into our area over the next several hours. In fact, probably through early tomorrow morning, we will continue to see some locally heavy downpours. Hurricane warning continues for the Treasure Coast, simply because the storm system is close enough where you could be dealing with some hurricane force winds as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. The best bet will be tropical storm force winds, but we can't rule out a hurricane force wind from time to time, meaning a wind gust of 74 miles an hour or stronger. In the meantime, into Palm Beach County, tropical storm warning in effect for you. Likewise over towards Okeechobee County, and the storm surge warning does continue for the Treasure Coast with the onshore flow during the high tide cycle. Again, some coastal flooding is possible. We could have a storm surge of 3 to 5 feet, so something that we will continue to watch over the next few hours. Notice the wave height with this system. We have waves as high as 30 feet. So these are just massive waves. They do get smaller as they get closer to the coast, farther away from the eye wall, but the waves are very high, and they will continue to batter the coast over the next several hours as the system slowly makes its way northward. Notice the eye wall. Can't really see it anymore now that it's weakening. The eye wall starting to fill on in, but one thing that we are noticing is that the wind field is expanding. So we are starting to see the winds farther and farther away from the center. Right now, the center about 100 miles just to the east of about Stewart or so, right near Port St. Lucie. The hurricane force winds extend 60 miles away from the center. So they're still far enough offshore, but the tropical storm force winds extend 175 miles from the center. So that's basically all the way into the central part of the state. So we will continue to see those tropical storm force winds anywhere from 40 to 60 miles region-wide as the system continues to make its way northward. Right now, here are the current wind gusts at the airport in West Palm Beach, 35 miles an hour, 33 for Vero Beach. But into Fort Pierce, we do have a tropical storm force wind gust right now of 39 miles per hour. So there's the center of the storm system. This right here is the wind field for hurricane force winds. This right here is the wind field for tropical storm force winds, and it pretty much includes the entire viewing area except for interior Palm Beach County. Now, as we head towards this evening, you can see the storm system due east of Vero Beach. Very gusty winds from Jupiter into Fort Pierce and into Vero Beach. Winds again of 40 to 60 miles an hour, maybe some isolated over 70 miles an hour. Then as we head towards tomorrow morning, the system is just to the east of Daytona Beach. Still some gusty winds possible for Vero Beach during the morning hours. Then during the afternoon, as the system continues to pull away, those winds will certainly follow the storm system up towards the north. Here's Wednesday, 8 p.m. just to the east of Jacksonville. Then after that, it will continue to work its way up towards the mid-Atlantic states over the next several days. By Friday morning, 7:30, you can see it right there, right off the coast of North Carolina. So there's the current stats. Winds of 110 miles an hour, moving oh so slowly, just crawling away right now at 2 miles an hour. As we head into the evening hours, you can see that it does start to make its push northward. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Still a Category 2 at that point just to the west of Vero Beach. And then as we head towards early tomorrow morning, it's north of Daytona Beach. And then it continues to work its way northward, still as a Category 2 hurricane, and then eventually works its way into the North Atlantic, interacts with some cooler ocean waters, and finally loses all of its tropical characteristics. The computer models continue to be tightly clustered offshore. Not a single computer model getting close to the coast. We like to see that. That's a great sign. This right here is the official forecast, and the computer models then start to diverge a little bit as we head towards all the way up there, really, not until they get up towards Halifax into Nova Scotia. So here's some of the gusts anticipated over the next several hours into Palm Beach County. We're talking wind gusts potentially up to about 50 miles an hour. Then they quickly start to drop on off overnight, and tomorrow a breezy day, winds of 20 to 30 miles an hour. Into Vero Beach, a little bit farther north, closer to the center of the system as we head into the evening and the nighttime hours. Wind gusts potentially of 60 miles an hour, maybe a little bit stronger at times. And then as we head into tomorrow, notice how quickly the winds start to back on off during the morning hours. Still very blustery during the early morning. And then by the time we get into the afternoon, after lunchtime, the winds really starting to back on off as that system pulls away. So you can see as that system pulls away, the chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds really start to come on down, but really not until tomorrow morning for the Treasure Coast. It will be considerably earlier, though, for Palm Beach County as the center of the storm system continues to march on northward.